A brief story today. Apple recently created a device that allows them to remotely update iPhones even before they're taken out of the box. So, the benefit here is fairly obvious. Um, with the release of iOS 17 in particular, there's an issue where the iPhone 15 was actually overheating due to a software bug. Now, that was quickly patched with a software update to 17.0.1. But wouldn't it be nice if the phone actually shipped with that software version installed? Well, that's exactly what this device can do. So, the way that this works is Apple has this pad like device that they give to their distributors, their sellers, the stores that are actually selling the iPhones. And simply by placing this device on the box, the iPhone will inside will turn on, perform a system update, and then turn off again, so that when it finally reaches the user, it has the most up to date software, but the box is still sealed and everything is still completely unopened. Okay, so this seems like a great thing. What's the problem? And well, yes, this certainly does have benefits, but I think this also has some downsides when it comes to security. The main downside here is that the user isn't aware of this kind of thing happening. It can just happen automatically when the device is nearby the iPhone. And this is a problem not only because it increases the attack surface of the iPhone. After all, having the ability to remotely force the phone to do an update assumes that the update itself is trustworthy and the method of delivering the update is trustworthy as well. But the fact that this is hidden from the user makes it that much more insidious. What do I mean by that? Well, I mean that when you install an update, as a user, at least you're aware that it's happening. You have to accept it, confirm it, and you'll probably get a notification that an update was installed. And so, at the very least, if you're security conscious, you might, check out what's new with the update and, somehow validate at least that that is the update that you intended to install. But if this kind of information is hidden from you, then you might not notice that. And of course, that is a possible attack vector. So, for instance, a pretty well known piece of spyware that's been used to infect both Android and iPhone, well, iOS phones, which is just the iPhone, is Pegasus. It's a piece of software that's developed by an Israeli cybersecurity company. Uh, and it has been used to basically install spyware and malware on all sorts of devices, from WhatsApp. Um, Simply calling the target device with a special WhatsApp call would mean that the code would get installed on the target device, even without the person answering the call. They've apparently been looking into using Apple's iMessage and trying to find bugs in that in order to install their malicious software as well. But the interesting thing here we can see is that this security researcher who runs Amnesty International's security lab says that things are getting a lot more complicated for targets to notice. And he explains that the clients of this software have abandoned suspicious messages for more subtle zero click attacks. Which is why I think this device isn't necessarily a good thing. Because, after all, that is a zero click attack. The device performs an update, which, of course, itself installs new software on the device without the user being aware of it, without them being given the opportunity to notice that something fishy is going on, right? With these SMS messages, the user would see that. They're not expecting to see this weird message out of nowhere. And so when they see that, then they might think, perhaps something is going on here. Perhaps I should start to be a bit more careful. But if they're not aware of that, if there's no feedback to the user, then that kind of attack is much more effective. And I think that's exactly what this type of device enables, is the ability to remotely install things without the user being aware of it, and of course that lessens security. So be careful if someone puts a suspicious looking device near your iPhone. You never know what they might be trying to do.